The rain-soaked evening smelled of oil, wet asphalt, and desperation, and no one inside the brightly lit restaurant noticed the woman standing just outside the glass doors. Her clothes clung to her thin frame, heavy with rain and exhaustion, and her hands trembled not from the cold but from the fear of being seen as worthless once again. All she carried was a small, worn bag and the weight of hunger pressing against her chest like a stone. She had rehearsed this moment in her mind 100 times, telling herself she would stay strong, that she would not cry, that she would ask politely and leave quickly. But life has a cruel way of breaking promises made in desperation, and the moment she stepped inside, everything began to fall apart. Before the story continues, if you believe that kindness still matters in this world, if you believe people deserve second chances no matter how broken they seem, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Your support keeps stories like this alive. The woman was a mother of 2, though no one there knew that. At home, in a dim single-room apartment with a flickering bulb, her children waited with empty stomachs and brave smiles. She had lost her job months ago after the factory shut down, and every day since had been a battle against hunger, shame, and silence. That evening, she had walked for miles in the rain because she had heard this restaurant sometimes threw away leftover food. She did not ask for money. She did not beg loudly. She simply asked if there was anything that could be spared for her children. Her voice was soft, almost apologetic, as if even her need was something to feel guilty about. The manager, a man hardened by routine and ego, saw her not as a human being but as a problem disrupting his clean floors and orderly world. His frustration exploded in a moment that shocked even the customers nearby. Instead of compassion, he responded with cruelty, grabbing her arm, shoving her back toward the door, and making a spectacle out of her pain. Her bag fell to the floor, spilling the few things she owned, and her knees buckled under the weight of humiliation. The room fell silent, not because people cared, but because discomfort often freezes those who do not want to get involved. No one moved. No one helped. The woman felt smaller than she ever had before, wishing the rain outside would swallow her whole. As she stumbled back onto the sidewalk, her heart pounded with a mix of fear and heartbreak. She worried not about herself, but about how she would explain to her children that there would be no food tonight. The rain mixed with tears on her face as she bent down to gather her scattered belongings. That was when the low, distant rumble began to rise from the street behind her. At first, it sounded like thunder rolling in early, but then the sound grew louder, heavier, vibrating through the pavement and into the bones of everyone nearby. A group of bikers was approaching, their headlights cutting through the rain like blades of light. Leather jackets, mud-splashed boots, and roaring engines made them look intimidating, the kind of men people crossed the street to avoid. They had stopped at the traffic light nearby and witnessed everything. They saw the shove, the woman falling, the door slamming behind her. They saw what everyone else chose to ignore. As one, they turned their bikes toward the restaurant, engines growling with a purpose that could not be mistaken. The bikers parked their machines in a line outside the entrance, drawing every eye in the room. One by one, they stepped inside, rain dripping from their jackets, faces unreadable but focused. The manager, who moments earlier had felt powerful, suddenly seemed smaller, his confidence draining as quickly as it had appeared. The bikers did not raise their voices or throw punches. They did not need to. Their presence alone carried a weight of justice forged from years of loyalty, loss, and brotherhood. They made it clear, without a single shouted word, that what had happened was unacceptable. Outside, one of them knelt beside the woman, helping her gather her things, offering her warmth from a dry jacket draped gently over her shoulders. Another biker went back inside and returned with bags filled with food, not leftovers, but fresh meals prepared with care. The rain no longer felt as cold as the woman held those bags, her hands shaking now from disbelief instead of fear. For the first time in a long while, she felt seen. Not judged. Not dismissed. Just seen. The bikers stayed with her for a while, making sure she was safe, making sure she knew she mattered. They did not ask for praise or thanks. To them, this was not heroism. It was simply doing what should have been done in the first place. As they eventually rode away, the sound of their engines faded into the night, leaving behind a silence filled not with shame, but with something far more powerful. Hope. The woman walked home that night holding the food tightly, her steps lighter despite her exhaustion. When she opened the door to her small apartment, her children's eyes lit up in a way she would never forget. That moment healed something deep inside her, something the world had tried very hard to break. She realized then that even in the darkest corners, kindness could still find her, sometimes wearing leather jackets and riding motorcycles. As this story comes close to its end, if this moment of humanity and unexpected compassion touched your heart even a little, please show your support by liking this video and sharing it with others. Stories like this remind us that change begins with awareness and empathy, and before we end, please comment below and tell us what this story made you feel, because your words might be the hope someone else is searching for today. The world is full of noise, judgment, and cruelty, but every now and then, kindness roars louder than all of it. And when it does, it changes lives forever.